And now, I shall resurrect Slifer the Sky Dragon!
Oh man, he just brought back an Egyptian god!
Slifer's attack points are determined by the number of cards in my hand. And since I'm holding 4, he now has 4,000 points!
Hey guys, this is Slifer Maniac. Guys, it's about time. Finally, I have, you might really say, the courage to build this deck profile. Or rather, have built it. I did build it a while ago, to be honest, but straightforward, the truth is still, I didn't watch the Dark Side of the Dimensions movie until yesterday evening. So I'm really much prepared now to present this deck profile and fill you in with all the information of the backgrounds, motivations, and storylines in general. Until yesterday evening, I just only saw the duels, and then just, you might say, superficially. No, not superficially. On the surface, just tiptoed here and then on the surface of the duels. Yeah. So there we go. First of all, I will be presenting to you the deck profile of Yugi, Muto, and just Yugi, little Yugi Muto, not Yugi / Ttap. But it is very much all about Ttap, because Seto Kaiba wants to resurrect Ttap and duel him. So what he does first is he duels with a virtual version of Yugi. And then we get to see also some new cards from Yugi in that very duel. After that, a mysterious boy surfaces himself onto the spot of the school of Yugi. So he's like one of the classmates of Yugi, but no one really does know him really well. Also Duke and Tristan, Thea and Joey also all around. And then later on, it comes to the clash with this very guy. He was named Aigami, actually Diva, who was part of a spiritual society for like keeping the balance in order, the balance of the world. And the thing that is developing itself, or rather unfolding itself, is that this very diva is part of a spiritual society who are led by none other than Shadi. Shadi, who of course was the keeper of the Millennium items. But then, as they came together in Millennium Cube, due to the Millennium Cube, he had to keep that balance. And with the vanishing of Ttap, or rather his soul being brought to the spiritual realm, those cubes that he gave to his people, to his societal or members of the society, spiritual society especially, had the power to make the world better by that very power, or to all evil, to destroy it. And Aigami, or Diva, was eventually misled by his own thoughts and ideas, and tried then to steal the Millennium Puzzle in order to prohibit Kaiba from resurrecting Ttap. And then he misused the power of the Millennium Cube. And so the power that then came across them was an evil power. Also, the Millennium Ring was brought back, because Bakura was also part of the gang, but the normal Bakura. And all of the and in the end, Aigami, or Diva, fused himself with the negative energies of the Millennium Ring, and then the evil zombie version of Yamabakura came out, but a very ugly one, you might say. Seto Kaiba tried to lure Yugi out of his I would say exile, but he was hiding, and Seto Kaiba said, I just make another tournament testing my new technology, and then bringing out those last pieces of the Millennium Puzzle, which he didn't collect yet and didn't scan because he was in Egypt, and trying to the very place right before the Eye of Ujat, where the final duel between Ttap and Lil Yugi took place in the dawn of the Duel Arc. And then he let his man then do the dirty work in order to bring the Millennium Puzzle all in pieces out. They had to, by scanning which piece was part of which piece, or which piece were rightfully sticking into each other, in order to bring the Millennium Puzzle out like it was before, which I think before Yugi in 5,000 years no one did achieve. So his scanner and his workers did all of that, and he managed it, I think, in a couple of days, or maybe 1 or 2 days. And then he was seeing or realizing that 2 pieces were missing, one of which Aigami had with him, and the other one Sarah had, the sister of Aigami, who was also part of the spiritual society, and then gave it to Lil Yugi. So Seto Kaiba had to battle against Yugi in the finals, I think. And then I think he was down to 100 points, and then Aigami stepped in, and Yugi and Seto Kaiba did bind together, and then fought him together, eventually ending up in winning. Which is what we are talking about right now. We come to the very fact, because the deck profile of Yugi is very unusual, because there are many trap cards in here. Some trap cards in another version, which we saw in the dawn of the Duel Arc, and of course we do witness some trap cards also from the Duel Monsters era, and monster cards in new versions, and some spell cards as well in new versions, and others which are entirely new, you might say. So I would just suggest let's clock into it, and then we find out what we have in here. So first of all, we do get to witness his old friend, the Celtic Guardian. Earth attribute 4 stars, a warrior type, 1400 attack, 1200 defense, along with the new version, not the obnoxious one, but the Celtic Guard of the Noble Arms. Same artwork, you might say a new form of this one. Earth attribute 4 stars, 2100 attack and 700 defense, very strong, but it's a warrior type and it has an effect. Cannot attack while you have any cards in your hand. So as last resort, this card makes all the sense in the world. Once per turn, you can special one Celtic Guard monster from your hand. When this attacking card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you can draw cards equal to the number of Celtic Guard monsters you control. So this lets you, if you have like I don't know, the obnoxious Celtic Guardian, and there's also a new version now coming out in the Chaos Origins. If you like have 4 of them, it would be very powerful, and the deck would be you might say playing along this theme. Then we get to witness not this Giant Soldier of Stone, but the Sentry Soldier of Stone. An Earth attribute 3 stars, and Rock type, 1300 attack and 2000 defense, so good defensive posture as well, and the same stats as the old Giant Soldier of Stone. And it works like that of all monsters that you control from type Rock, minimum 1. As long as this card is in your graveyard, you can special summon this card. So like if this card that you control type Rock, and minimum if all monsters that you control are type Rock, at minimum 1, whilst this card is in the graveyard, you can special summon this card. And this is a once per turn effect. So guys, sorry, I mixed it up a little bit. Then he played out against duel with Seto Kaiba, Lord Gaia, the Fierce Knight, a new version of Gaia. An Earth attribute, 7 stars, warrior type, 2300 attack, 2100 defense. And its effect works like that. If your opponent controls a monster and you none, then you can special summon this card from your hand once per turn. If one or more monsters that's attack are equally or higher with this attack or this this monster's attack, you can special summon there will be special summoned to the opponent's side of the field, except for during the damage step. You can give this card 700 attack until the end of the turn. So of course this is also a good last resort if your opponent has monsters and you do not have any monsters, so it's a good trump card, trump tactic you might say. And then once per turn, if one or more monsters of their attack are higher than this card's attack, are special summoned on your side of the field, this card gets 700 attack. So like, I don't know, if you have Monster Reborn or Premature Burial or something like that, and its attack like 2300 or even more, maybe like the Dark Magician or something like that, then this card gets 700 attack. Then we had, of course, Marshmallow, but we have the new version, which is Marshmacron. Light attribute 1 star, fairy type, 200 attack and 200 defense. And its effect works like that. If this card is destroyed due to a battle or a card effect, you can put until 2 other Marshmacron as a special summon from your hand, deck, and or graveyard. And this is once per turn effect, and that's why we have this card, of course, 3 times in here. Very, very sweet artwork, by the way. Okay. Next up is a very unusual thing. So the Dark Magician Girl has got some sisters, you might say. We have Apple Magician Girl. Fire attribute 3 stars, spellcaster type 1200 attack and 800 defense. And its effect works like that. Once per turn, if this card is chosen as an attack target, you can choose one monster from type spellcaster with level 5 or lower as a special one from your hand. Yeah, and then change the attack target to that monster. And if you do, the attack of the attacking monster equal to the half of its original attack. If this card has been destroyed as a result of battle or card effect, you can choose until 3 other Magician Girl monsters with different names in your graveyard and put it to your hand. So also good a recycling effect right there, and also a good special summon effect for like Dark Magician Girl, because or other spellcaster monsters with level 5 or fewer. It would be a good card in a spellcaster deck, and then you can change even the targets. Very badass, a little bit OP right there. So and the attack is also then halved, so very strong. Apple Magician Girl. We start right there. Then the other one, which was also showcased in the movie, was Lemon Magician Girl. So this one and this one were showcased in the movie, but there are others as well, which are just TCG exclusives. But I think that's a very creative thing to do, and yeah, I might be using them in the near future, but who knows. Light attribute 2 stars, spellcaster type 800 attack, 600 defense, and in effect works like that. Once per turn, you can choose one Magician Girl monster and put it as a tribute, except for Lemon Magician Girl, and put one monster from type spellcaster from your deck to your hand. And once per turn, if this card is an it has been chosen as a target for an attack, you can choose one monster from type Spellcaster and special summon it from your hand, but its effects are, if it has one or has any, are negated. Then you can choose or change the attack target to that new target, and if you do, it is then the attack of the attacking monsters halved. So it's still the same effect, but with the searcher effect for spellcasters as well. Then, like I said, with 3 magician girls, which I still also, in terms of playability, don't make all the sense in the world in this deck, which is one of them is Fruit Magician Girl. Earth attribute 1 star, a spellcaster type 400 attack, 400 defense. If this card is normal summoned, you can choose one Magician Girl monster from your deck and put it to your hand. Also a good searcher. And once per turn, during the turn of any player, if your opponent has a card on activates a card or an effect that chooses this card as a target or as an attack target, you can change the battle position of this card, and if you do, you can special summon one spellcaster type monster from your deck, except from Fruit Magician Girl. So also good searcher and also good special summon mechanics it has in here, and also a protective measure, because like it can change then from attack to defense mode. Then we have Kiwi Magician Girl, also TCG exclusive, a little bit stronger from the stats, but also with 5 stars. So it is a wind attribute, 5 stars, spellcaster type, 1800 attack, 1200 defense, and its effect works like that. During either the player's turn, you can discard this card. Magician Girl monsters you currently control gain 300 attack and defense for each Magician Girl monster with different names on the field and in the graveyard until the end of this turn. So it has an attacking and defense boost engine in its effect. And then also spellcaster monster you control cannot be destroyed by card effects, and your opponent cannot target them with card effects. So they cannot be destroyed by card effects, but also cannot target them. So also a protective measure right there. And but no, you might say no attack negating measure, but still those mechanics are very strong, because the other ones have those attack protecting measures within their effect. Then Chocolate Magician Girl is the last one. The water attribute, 4 stars, spellcaster type, 1600 attack and 1000 defense. Once per turn, you can choose one monster from type spellcaster and discard it, then draw 1 card. Once per turn, if this card is targeted as an attack target, you can choose one monster from type spellcaster in your graveyard, except for this one, special summon it, and then change the attack target. And if you do, the attack of the attacking monster equal to half of its original attack. So also a protective measure, and even attack changing mechanics in it. And then also the draw power that is gotten here. Very cool. Yeah. So there we go with the Magician Girls. Yeah. Then we saw, and you might say an old visitor, which is was also played in the Dawn of the Duel Arc, and helping Yugi, of course, to survive against Yamibakura, but also was a very main strategy against Ttap, and which is the Silent Swordsman. Light attribute. If I'm seeing this correct, I can't tell. Yes, I think light attribute. 4 stars, spellcaster type, 1000 attack, 1000 defense, and its effect works like that. Cannot be normal summoned or set. Must be special summoned from your hand. And by attributing more spellcaster monster, gets its attack gets 500 for each card in your hand. Once per turn, if a spell card is activated, it's a quick effect. You can negate the activation of the spell card, and if you do, you can negate the effect. Then, if this card is destroyed by battle, or if this card that's controlled by its original owner is destroyed during card effect, you can special summon one Silent Sword Magician monster from your hand or deck, except for this one. So that's also one of the reasons I gave some more. I gave him the Silent Magician level 0. Wasn't played out. It wasn't shown in the Dark Side of the Vengeance movie, but nevertheless, I thought it will make all sense of the word, because also Silent Magician isn't here. Also, in Light Attribute 4 stars, spellcaster type, 1000 attack, 1000 defense, and its effect works like that. If your opponent draw a card or cards, increase this card's level by number of cards drawn. While this card's level is higher than its original attack level, it gains attack equal to the difference by 500. When your opponent activates a spell card or effect where you control Shining Sarcophagus, quick effect, you can negate the activation. If you do increase these cards level by 1, you can only use this effect of Silent Magician 0 once per turn. So I don't have the Shining Sarcophagus effect in here, because there will be part of a futuristic deck profile for the little Yugi Muto, but the other effects with the draw power, if your opponent has like Pot of Greed or Graceful Charity, and then increasing the levels of this monster, and then with the level you increase also the attack stats. Very great. Then actually I'm not sure, I don't think we saw it, but still I did it. I brought also the I think we saw the Silent Swordsman level 5, but we talk about that later. So I gave him the Silent Swordsman. It's Light Attribute 4 stars, warrior type, 1000 attack, 1000 defense, and its effect works like that. It cannot be normal summoned or set. Must be special summoned from your hand by offering one warrior type monster as a tribute, and cannot be special summoned by any other way. Once per turn, during the standby phase, this card gets 500 attack. Once per turn, during the turn of a random player, if a spell card is activated, you can negate the activation, also this effect in here. If this card is destroyed by battle, or if this card that its owner possesses has been destroyed during card effect, you can special summon another Silent Swordsman monster as a special summon from your hand or deck, except for this one. So also the same effect as Silent Magician, that was Silent Swordsman monsters, and then also the spellcaster, the spell card negate block effect, and the third one also, he has an attack boost engine here, where it's very great during the standby phase. And that also cannot be normal summoned or set. Then I gave him, of course, also the Silent Swordsman 0. Also Light Attribute 4 stars, warrior type, 1000 attack, 1000 defense. Once per turn during the standby phase, increases card level by 1. While this card level is higher than its original level, it gains attack equal to the difference by 500. When your opponent activates a card or effect that targets Shining Sarcophagus monster that mentions it, you control. Quick effect, you can negate the activation if you do increase the card level by 1. Also, we forgot about the Shining Sarcophagus effect, but also the other effect when increasing it at 1 level per standby phase is also the same effect as Silent Swordsman 0, Silent Magician 0 got, and of course also with the 500 attack boosting engine in here. Then, like I said, I think he summoned Silent Swordsman level 5, but I'm not sure anymore, because I don't remember all the details, but I think it was. So that's also why I gave him the other Silent Swordsman in here. Not all of them, but like 2 at least. The basics, you might say. Light Attribute 5 stars, warrior type, 2200 attack, 1000 defense, and the effect works like that. This card is unaffected by any spell cards of your opponent. During your standby phase, after this card put battle damage to your opponent due to a direct attack, you can put this card to the graveyard and special summon one Silent Swordsman level 7 as a special summon from your hand or deck. So we do forget about that effect because I didn't put the Silent Swordsman level 7 in here. Then we got a card which I didn't think it could be more versions of this card, but here we go. Recently there also came out another version which is called Kurifu, and of course I'm talking about the clear Kuribo. Light attribute 1 star fairy type, 300 attack, 200 defense, and its effect works like that. During the turn of any random player, if your opponent activates a monster effect that brings damage, then you can discard this card, negate the effect, and if a monster of your opponent declares a direct attack, you can banish this card from the graveyard and draw 1 card. If it's a monster, you can special summon it and then change the attack target to that one. So a very, we might say more powerful version, because it also has not only the attack negating engine but also effect negating engine, and then also you can draw 1 card and banish this card from the graveyard, and then if it's a monster that you draw, then you can special summon it and then change the attack target to it. So far more powerful. In the old days, we might say really OP, but yeah, we're not in the old days, so here we go. And then we have also 2 newer versions of the gadget monsters, which is Silver Gadget, light attribute 4 stars, machine type, 1500 attack, 1000 defense, and its effect works like that. I've got machine type already said, I think. If this card is normal special summon, you can choose 1 monster from type machine of level 4 and special summon from your hand. If this card has been destroyed due to battle or card effect, you can choose 1 gadget monster from level 4 and special summon from your deck, except for this one, and that's once per turn effect. And the other one that we have is of course Golden Gadget, light attribute 4 stars, machine type, 1700 attack, even an 800 defense. If this card is normal special mode, you can choose 1 machine type monster in level 4 and special summon it from your hand. If this card is also destroyed due to card effect or battle, you can choose 1 gadget monster level 4 and special summon from your deck. Same effect, I think, if I'm not being mistaken. Love the artworks of those 2. So finally, then I did have all the Magician Girls, and then we get finally into the Dark Magician Girl with this Dark Set of Dimensions artwork. Dark attribute 6 iconic stars, iconic spellcaster type, iconic 2000 attack, and iconic 1700 defense. And with this iconic effect, this card gets 300 attack for each Dark Magician or Dark Magician of Chaos in both players' graveyard. Then we have his best friend and master, the Dark Magician with the Dark Set of Dimensions artwork and Dark attribute, and of course iconic 7 stars, iconic spellcaster type, and iconic 2500 attack and iconic 2100 defense. But we are not there yet, because I have still 2 cards left. The last one might surprise you, because there's a certain background about it. So first, the new version of the Gandara, because we had the Gandara, this one, and the Dawn of the Duel Arc. Gandara, the Dragon of Destruction. But we do have the new version, Gandara X, the Dragon of Destruction. Also with 0 attack and 0 defense, Dragon type, Dark attribute and 8 stars. And its effect works like that. If this card is normal or special summon from the hand, you can destroy as many other monsters on the field as possible, and if you do inflict damage to your opponent equal to the highest original attack on the field among those destroyed monsters, your choice if tied, this card's attack becomes equal to the damage inflicted to your opponent by this effect. Once per turn during your end phase, half your life points. So it comes at a very great cost, but you just have a destruction board engine for monsters, and you have also the effect damage, and then also increasing its attack, but at a great cost. You have to pay half your life points each turn, so it's a very risky card, but love the artwork on that one. last but not least is Palladium Oracle Mahat. So Mahat is of course one of the Keeper of the Millennium items and the original you might see copy and paste work for the Dark Magician, because he fused his soul with the Dark Magician and became the Dark Magician, because he was one of the servants of the Pharaoh Ttap, and you might say his best companion. And the last second or the last turn of the fight, which Yugi and Seto Kaiba were about to lose, Ttap finally came out of the Millennium puzzle, which just was completed, and called his Mahat, his friend Mahat, and he then destroyed, I don't know what was it exactly, I think the great beast of the cubic beasts of Aigami or Diva. Yeah, that attribute 7 stars, spellcaster type, 2500 attack, 2100 defense, and its effect works like that. If you draw this card, you can show it and then special summon it from your hand. If this card battles with a dark monster, its attack are during the damage step only doubled, and if this card is destroyed due to a card effect or a battle, you can choose one Dark Magician as a special one from your hand, deck, or graveyard and special summon it on to the field. So this is it. This is my monster lineup. And without further ado, like always, you might copy or you might make a photo. I give you 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now I'm going to erase this board. Yeah, and let's get into the spells. So the spell lineup isn't that big, I have to admit, but it wasn't needed either. So I have to admit that it's very unusual, but in this movie, most of the cards of Yugi were monsters and trap cards. So he has developed a new strategy, you might say. And due to that very fact, he had spell cards, but I think his trap cards were even more due to their numbers. But I think this was the only possibility for him to survive that whole shenanigans with his competitors, and especially with Diva, of course. The spell lineup. So we do see, I think, some cards which, as he's making order in his deck in order to go to the tournament, and some others we see, of course, him playing out during the duels. So Magical Dimension, I think we just saw in his hand as he was shuffling his deck as preparation for the tournament. But I'm not 100% sure whether he played it out. Maybe he also played it out. So Magical Dimension, of course, quick spell card. If you control a spell card, summon target one monster in your control. Choose with that target 10 special one monster spell card monster from your hand. Then you can destroy one monster on the field. Of course, the as a condition, of course, you have to have spellcasters. And then one of your monsters must be tributed. Then you can special summon one monster, and then you can destroy also one opponent's monster. Very handy effect. He played this one out in the Battle City Finals, I might say. Battle City Finals, it was, yeah, that was it. So 1000 Knives. Also, I think saw during his shuffling the deck. Of course, if you control Dark Magician target one monster your opponent controls and destroy that target. This was originally, I think, a card which Arcana played out in Battle City, and then he integrated this card into his deck. Polymerization also showcased during the preparation for the new Seto Kaiba tournament, because there was no fusions whatsoever for Yugi, I think. Maybe at the beginning, but I'm not sure anymore about that one. So Dark Contract of the Magical Door is a card which he played out, actually, I think, in the double duel from Seto Kaiba and Yugi against Aigami, but it also might be the case that Yugi battled against Seto Kaiba. I'm not sure anymore. But he played it out. I think it was against Seto Kaiba. He gave him one spell card from his hand, and then yeah, you could take one dark type monster, dark attribute monster with level 7 or 8 from his deck to his hand, and of course, he choose the Dark Magician in order to resolve this effect properly. Then I think also Mystical Space Typhoon we saw in his hand, maybe, or in the preparation of the battle, but I don't think we saw it before, but I'm not sure. But we saw it somewhere, so maybe, yeah. Of course, this is a quick spell card, destroys target one spell card and trap card on the field and destroyed. Monster Reborn was the very card that Yugi had first in his hand and then gave Seto Kaiba, so we do know, as a matter of fact, that this was in his hand. Of course, special summon mechanic. You can special summon from your graveyard or from your opponent's and monster attack or face defense position. Dark Magic Veil, I think he played out. I don't know against which opponent exactly. You can choose 1,000 life points, then choose one dark attribute monster from type spellcaster as a special one from your hand or your graveyard. I think I played this one out against Seto Kaiba, but I'm not sure. And last but not least is Gold Sarcophagus. I think it was just the Gold Sarcophagus itself was seen, but I'm not sure anymore. Yeah, but anyways, you can of course choose one card from your deck, then place it onto the field, and then in the second standby phase after this card's activation, you can add that card to the hand. Very famously, in the Dawn of the Duel Arc, he played this card in order to negate Monster Reborn, which was placed in the sarcophagus. Yeah, you might criticize me now. You might put there a Pot of Greed and a Graceful Chariot, to make this whole board a little bit more playable. And I also do recommend that very fact, but yeah, I didn't want to add more, so you might make a copy or a photo. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So even if I did, it would be like 10 spell cards. And we have, I think, like 10 trap cards in here, which is mental. So first of all, we saw, I think, in the virtual, Seto Kaiba had a duel with the virtual Yugi. And there we saw him play, I think, Dimension Reflector, which is a permanent trap card. And its effect works like that. If this card activate this card by banishing 2 monsters you control and attack one face-up monster your opponent controls. Special on this card and attack position effect monster. Spellcaster type dark attribute level 4 attack question mark and defense question mark with the attack and defense equal to that face-up monster's attack. This card is also still the trap card. If this monster is summoned this way, inflict damage to your opponent equal to this card's attack. So it's very powerful because you have to tribute 2 monsters, but then you can just chop or copy the monster's opponent monster's attack, and if it's like a strong monster, then this also is very strong, and he or she then also still gets effect damage equal to that maybe big monsters attack stats. So very, very strong, and you also have the very same attack stats as the other monster, so a good blocking engine as well. Might recommend that if you have a good appropriate deck for that, this card might come in handy. Then we saw him play out Dig of Destiny, I think it was against Seto Kaiba, but I'm not sure, maybe it was also Origami. When you take battle damage, draw 1 card. This card is its owner's control is destroyed by an opponent's card effect. You can draw cards equal to the number of Dig of Destiny in your graveyard, but I only have to do 1. Because I also possess just 1 copy. I recommend to you guys, you might also put 2 others in there. Because you have a good draw engine also if you receive battle damage. And if it's destroyed, you can also draw if you have at least 2 others in there. It's an even better drawing engine. Then I have Dimensional Guardian. We played this out I think against Seto Kaiba. Activate this card by choosing 1 monster in a face-up attack position that you control. It cannot be destroyed due to battle or card effects. If the chosen target monster leaves the field, you destroy this card. So it's a protective measure which you have in here, and yeah, very great. But I have the condition, the premise is there that you have to have any monsters, otherwise this one won't work. Then Dimension Mirage. So you might realize also by now, because the spiritual society of the planas, they were called, were a dimensional one. That's why we have so much dimension cards in here. So also a permanent trap card like this one as well. Activate this card by choosing one monster in face-up attack position that your opponent controls. By the end of the damage step, if this monster attacks, but this doesn't destroy its target, you can choose one monster from your graveyard, banish it, but it has to attack another time. If the chosen target leaves the field, you destroy this card. So very great. Also, so it's about a monster card that your opponent controls, and if the monster's attack didn't go through, then you can banish one monster from your graveyard, and he has or she has to attack again. So then maybe he or she gets more damage. So if you have a attack boosting trap card, for example, then it might work that way. Another trap card which has a very interesting, very cool artwork is, I think, Dimensional Sphinx. Also a permanent trap card. It works like that. If activate this card by choosing one monster in a face-up attack position that you control once per battle during the battle steps. If it's attacked by a monster with a higher attack stats, you can give your opponent damage equal to the difference of their attacks. And yeah, if the chosen monster leaves the field, you just destroy this card. So this one can also be permanent, but yeah, it's more likely if the chosen monster is destroyed. Yeah, then it's also destroyed. But also you have a very unusual for Yugi to have so much trap cards with, or effect and trap cards and effect cards in general, effects that make effect damage. So it's very unusual for him. Then we do have Dark Horizon. He played it out. If you get battle or effect damage, then you special summon one dark attribute monster from type spellcaster that's attack as fewer or equal to the damage that you took as a special summon from your deck. So like maybe if he attacks with Blue Eyes, you can choose the Dark Magician because that's lower attack stats than the damage that you took, and so on and so on. Then new versions. I love the new versions of Metamorphosis, which is really much reminding me of on the Stronghold, the mobile fortress. So I think even there are two versions now in this deck. Yeah. And it's also a trap card, and its effect works like that. Activate this card by choosing one monster with level 4 or higher that you control. Special summon this card as a special summon effect monster, type rock, attribute earth, level 4, attack stats 1000 attack and 1000 defense. Then you can equip this card to that very face-up monster, and this card is it's still at the same time a trap card. And if this card is special summoned to the field with this effect, it gets attack and defense equal to the attack stats of the monster which it was bound to due to this effect. And additionally, if it attacks, you can change the position into defense position at the end of the damage step. So also a very cool protective engine if you like have a monster, and then this card also comes out and then has also an attack boosting engine. And so you have special summoned another monster, even then you have also the protective armor, you might say, by having the possibility to change it to defense positions. Are very great and strong. But it has to be even to be level 4 or higher, so the possibility is very great that you then get a strong mobile fortress, metamorph fortress. Then we have defensive magician, also a permanent trap card. As long as you control spellcaster type, damage that you take are halved. And if this card leaves the field and is brought to the graveyard, you can choose one monster from type spellcaster in your graveyard and special summon it. But you cannot activate this card's effect twice. So like if you can choose one spellcaster type monster and not half it all the time. You know what I'm saying? So it's one time it's halved, so like you might say reducing damage quality, and then of course also the spellcaster special summon engine, which is in here. Very great artwork, by the way. So if you count, it's like also already 8 trap cards, but we're still not through. Then we have Final Geese. And this looks like that. Love the artwork, by the way. If one or more monster with level 7 or higher have been put to the graveyard from both players, you can banish as many monsters from the graveyard as possible. Then you can choose one monster from spellcaster type with the highest level from the banished monsters and special summon on your side of the field. And if it's equal, you can choose one. Very great. Great one. So maybe if 2 monsters, so the condition is 2 monsters have been destroyed, they have to be at least level 7 or higher. And then you can banish monsters of both graveyards, a very good banish effect in here. And then special summon one monster only, so that the rest of the monsters are gone. And your opponent might be then wide open. Then he played out Metalhold, the mobile blockade. And permanent trap card, which, as you might say, the second counterpart of that. Activate this card by choosing one monster from type machine with level 4 that you control, and then special summon this card as an effect monster type machine, attribute earth, level 4, attack 0, defense 0. Then you can equip this card to that face-up monster, and this card is also at the same time a trap card. If this card has been summoned this way, it gets its attack is increased equal to the addition attack of the monster whether it's equipped with. And monsters that your opponent controls cannot choose any monsters of you that you control as an attack target, except for this one. And additionally, your opponent cannot choose any monsters that you control as a target for effect. It's a very strong defensive posture and also protective engine here. And also the attack boosting engine also as well. And last but not least, I have Mirror Force and Magical Cylinder. Of course, Mirror Force, if your opponent attacks, all his face-up attack position monsters are destroyed. I think we saw this as a preparation from the for the tournament, or perhaps in the first virtual duel that Seto Kaiba had against the virtual Yugi. And Magical Cylinder, of course, gives the attack. If your opponent attacks, the attack is negated, and he or she gets equally effect damage equally to the attack of the attacking monster. So this is it, guys. This is my I think at 41 monster 41 months, 41 cards. Yu-Gi-Oh! Dark Side of Dimensions deck profile. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did after so many time. Hit the like and subscribe button. Show me some love, guys. Stay tuned for more content of this kind. I promise you guys that I'm not failing you now, because I said I was in a lot of stress in the last time, and now I intend to maybe at least all 3 or 4 days to make a produce a new video, because I want to conclude the Dark Side of the Dimensions arc, because the movie arc is just 2 deck profiles, 3 in total, but 2 are left, and then we will be through, and I will then finally build my ultimate deck profiles of Yugi, Muto, Seto Kaiba, and Joey Wheeler. And after that, yeah, maybe one or other opening, and then I will finally get to GX with you guys. But yeah, you might make a copy or take a picture, because I will be removing that very board right now. As always, I hope you guys have a wonderful good morning, good midday, good afternoon, good evening, good night, whenever and wherever you might witness this one. This is me, your Life Romaniac, and then of course the last one I've been doing, always be doing, is big peace out.
このモンスターを召喚する条件は3体の悪魔族モンスターを墓地に送り生贄に捧げること。さあ蘇れ、死の世界の支配者ダークネクロフィア。